This is Lester Levenson, and I'm going to read something from one of his sessions in Los Angeles in 1969. And he was talking to a group of his students. And he said, "I've never talked much about miracles, have I? I don't feel as though I'm imposing on you now as I used to feel were I to talk about miracles, because having moved up, you are more able to accept them. When I first moved to Sedona and lived by myself, most things were done by thought, and I was unaware of it. However, others began to come in, and it was because of them that I became aware of these unusual things. To me, they were natural, but not to others. I might have told one or two of you about the teleportation incident. This one is interesting because it involved two others, one who is following this path and another one who is not. The first one is Francis, and the second one is D, the son of T, whom you all know. He came to Sedona from Phoenix and asked me if I would take a walk, and naturally he would choose a direction uphill. We walked 1.5 miles uphill, Francis, D, and I, and when we got to the end of our trip, we sat down to have our sandwiches. We had only a pint-sized canteen of water for the three of us, and we drank most of it on the way up. We had left only about 1/8 of an inch of water in the bottom of this pint canteen, hardly enough for half a cup. But the three of us were thirsty, and so I let go with the feeling everything is perfect. I received the inner knowledge that the water was abundantly there. Then I asked, "Do you want a drink, Francis?" "Sure." I gave Francis a cupful. Then D drank a cup, then I. We kept drinking until each one of us was satiated. We each had 7 drinks. I curiously looked into the canteen, and the same amount of water was there as originally, just about 1/8 of an inch on the bottom of the canteen. We then started downhill for home. I was so tired that I felt as though the body would not walk anymore. I just let go and I said, "Oh Lord, there must be a better way." And the thought again came to me, everything is perfect. As I thought perfect, we, the three of us, had one step up there, and the next step was down near my home, where the surroundings were similar to the place we had left so as not to make it obvious to Dee. Frances caught it, and she said, "Lester, we teleported." I said, "Oh, Frances, you're crazy. You're imagining it," because Dee's mind was in a turbulence. His face showed a frown and a consternation. For his sake, I had to again say, "It's your imagination, Frances," and shut her up. Frances knew. Later, when she was alone without Dee, I said, "What made you think we teleported?" And she laughed. She said, "Don't you remember? On the way up, Dee and I were collecting rocks, and in several places, we put them on the left side of the road on the way up. The road was cut into the side of the hill. I wanted to pick up those rocks on the way back, but we bypassed all of those places." Now, to do these things, it takes a mere effortless thought. You surrender, let go, and have a thought with no effort, no drive. It's the easiest thought you could have, and then it happens. During the early days in Sedona, I was living this way, unaware of it. To me, it was natural. Whatever I thought, I expected. It seemed natural, just the way everyone thinks he lives naturally. It's really the natural way, and it's meant for us to live that way. Although if we did, we wouldn't fit very well into our present society, would we? So if you want to stay in communication, you go the way of the people. So miracles are just this dream world affected immediately. And miracles don't necessarily mean spiritual development, because the majority of people in the universe use these things. They use them on other planets where they're not necessarily more spiritually advanced than we are. It is their natural way of life. But the easier way to live is purely mentally. Mentally do everything. You people should be able to do all this. Why not go all the way and have nature serve you? Why do you do things the harder way? I think it's because you're afraid you're going to disappear. I'm saying to you, look, I have been through these things and I still have a body here. I didn't disappear. Lester Levenson, Los Angeles, 1969.